Welcome to the SwimSwam podcast. As always, I'm your host, Coleman Hodges. Joining me today, he is the number one ranked recruit for the class of 2021. He is a University of Texas commit. He's a senior in high school this year. I don't even know how at least a 6, 7, 8-time Virginia high school state champion, Anthony Grimm. Anthony, how's it going, man?
I'm doing great. How about you?
I'm doing good. First of all, you've got a William and Mary shirt on. Tell me why you're repping the tribe.
Absolutely. So as everyone knows, they got 7 sports cut, including swimming. And one of my best friends, Kent, he was on my club team. He's now a freshman there. He was on the team when as I got cut, and he's a freshman. And I just want to show my support because no one deserves to go through that. And those guys, I know they work really hard. So just want to show my appreciation for them.
Now, I know you're a Virginia native. How far are you from William and Mary? Is that something that's been in your backyard for a while?
It's not too close. I live in Fairfax in Northern Virginia, and it's about I think Williamsburg is 2 or 3 hours, something like that. Yeah.
Gotcha. Did you ever have meets there? I don't think they host too many meets, do they?
No. So yeah, I've been there before. I visited with my friend Kent.
Okay.
So, but I've never swam there before.
Gotcha. Well, nice. I'm doing another podcast with William and Mary Swimmers tomorrow. I've already done one with some coaching alums there. It's sounds like a really great program, and obviously, as you said, no one deserves to go through that. Hopefully they can raise enough, however much that is, to have that sport reinstated, because we want more swimming.
I agree.
The line.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me, let's start with you, and let's start with the now. Tell me about how your quarantine's been. It started, around mid-March. It's now, mid-September.
Yeah.
So what have these past 6 months looked like for you?
So at the start of quarantine, I probably took about 2 months off from swimming just because nobody could find a pool. And that's probably, so this year is probably the most I've ever took off swimming in my entire life, because back in November, I got a stress fracture in my back. So that was 2 months of no physical activity. And I was back in the water for about a month and a half, and then another 2 months of just nothing going on pretty much. So just pretty much just trying to get back into shape. We were able to practice in short course meters pools during the summer. And so it helped me a little bit, but now we're back into the groove of things. I'm going to George Mason to practice, and that's where I usually practice. So I'm feeling more comfortable, getting a lot more work done.
Nice. So those 2 months that you had off, at the beginning of quarantine, where you couldn't swim, what kind of exercises what were you doing to stay active, to stay fit, and to keep your mind occupied? What were you doing outside of just exercising?
So when that got canceled, school was getting canceled at the same time. So it was kind of nice to have a mental break, not worry about any of that. So to keep myself in shape, I went to a few lakes just because I couldn't stand not swimming for that long. So I went to a few lakes to just do some open water swimming. And me and some of my teammates would do just a bunch of body weight stuff, like jump ropes and push-ups and abs and stuff like that. And basically just spent my time doing that and playing video games, just enjoying life.
What kind of video games you playing over there?
So right now I don't really have the updated games or anything. I play some 2K and some Call of Duty. Just stuff to get my mind off swimming in school.
Definitely. These sound like good distractions. I know during quarantine for me, good distractions and bad distractions, the line got blurred But I think a healthy dose of video games. I know Cody Miller had a vlog about that, and he's like, if I'm working out, I'm staying active. If I want to play 4 or 5 hours of video games, I think it's all right.
Yeah, absolutely. It helps. It helps a lot.
It does, especially with so much uncertainty. You don't really have a plan going forward. So you're in your senior year of high school now. What's school look like for you?
So right now, I'm doing online school, which is kind of hard for me because I don't. It's hard for me to sit still in one place for a long time. So just sitting in front of a computer screen is a little bit difficult. But I'm just gonna get through it. I only got one more year, so I'm excited to get out of here and go to Texas.
Uh, Understandable.
Yeah.
Is there, right now, are you completely online, and do you think that's going to change at all, or you really just don't know and kind of hoping for the best at this point?
Yeah, so we're online. The plan is we're online until the first quarter ends. So we should be back in like mid-November, early December. But who knows? We'll see what actually happens.
Gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense. That's
Yeah,
yeah. I feel you.
nothing really happens according to plan anymore. So
Dude, no kidding.
yeah,
But that's hard, and especially for someone when I was your age, seeing my friends every day was a big deal. And
yeah,
I think for anyone, period, seeing people on a daily basis, especially the ones they're used to seeing, it's a big deal. So, well, I'm glad you're able to do it and kind of muster through it. But good luck with the online school.
thanks,
Yeah,
thanks. Yeah, I still got my friends from swim to see, so it's all good.
and that's a big part of swim, as all swimmers know, is the social aspect. So
Yeah.
yeah, you said things were kind of back to normal. Is your swimming back to a normal schedule also?
A little bit. So I'm doing about 7 water practices a week. I haven't started dryland yet, but I'm definitely gonna do that soon. So instead of doing all mornings, we're doing uh, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and the afternoon. Oh, sorry, take that back. Wednesdays in the morning and then Sundays in the morning. So I got 2 mornings a week, so it's not bad at all. I get to sleep in a lot, so um, it's a nice change of scenery, but it still feels the same because I'm at the same pool training with the same coach and the same teammates. So it feels great to be able to sleep and have that feeling. So it's been going pretty well.
I mean, that sounds great. So before quarantine, were you guys all mornings all the time?
Yeah, not as early. I think it was about 7. So it was like it's like I could go to sleep decently late, but uh, it's a lot nicer having it at 5 in the afternoon just because I got a lot of freedom there.
Absolutely. So that's kind of interesting. I mean, there was a period in my career where we went mornings every day, but I think that's because like our pool was getting worked on or something. All mornings is it. What time do you start school then?
So for the past 4 years, I've been starting school at about like 8:10. So I got plenty of time to. Well, so quarantine was at around 7, the practices, but when during the school year, they were a little bit earlier. They're at like 5 a.m.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
so those are the ones that suck.
Yeah.
But
But you would do that every morning, and then would you have afternoons also?
yeah, so last year my schedule was every single morning and then doubles on Tuesday, Thursday.
Okay.
So yeah.
Interesting. So compare that to now. Which would you prefer? I mean, the sleeping in sounds nice, but also the free afternoons seem pretty good too. What's your preference?
I'm kind of embracing the schedule right now because even though it's in the afternoon, I'm out of the pool and I'm at home by like 7 or 7:30, so I still got time to eat dinner, hang out with my friends if I want to. So and I can still go to bed like I can go to bed at like 12 and I'd be completely fine. Rather, if I go to bed at 12 for my 5 a.m. practice, I will not be fine at all. So yeah, I'm liking it right now. I'm enjoying it.
Nice. I think sleeping in is a good thing. It
Yeah.
seems like getting
Every
rest. Go
everyone's
ahead.
happier. Oh yeah. Everyone's happier.
Nice. That's good to hear.
Mm.
So, for those of you who don't know, Anthony Grimm came on my radar during his sophomore year when at the Virginia State meet he basically went ballistic, and he split 20.8 in the 50 back on the 200 medley relay. He won the 50 free title in 19.6, anchored the 200 free relay in 19.2, and he was the top seed in the 100 back. Didn't end up swimming it in finals, but his team still won the state title. So he basically just kind of went really fast at that meet. So we're gonna get into that in a little bit, but I want to hear about your years before that. How did you get into swimming? You know, what was your first experience in the water?
So my very first experience in the water was me and my mom. I was 4 years old. Me and my mom, we went to the community pool, like right next to my neighborhood, and we were just there to like just screw around and play and hang out. But there was a swim meet, like a little summer league meet, and so my mom like started talking to some people, and they were just like, "Yeah, just throw him in, just throw him in there." And so I swam the heat against all these other like 6 or 7 year olds, and I ended up winning my heat. And so I was like 25 meters in like 25 seconds, but I loved it. And, you know, I started doing summer swim after that, and that led to club swim. And, you know, it's just something I've always loved since I started.
25 meters, 25 seconds, 4 years old. That's so it seems like you had a bright future for a while.
Yeah, I
That's
guess
it.
so. Yeah.
Or at least speed came naturally from a young age. We'll say that. You said that got you into summer swimming. I've heard some legends about Virginia summer swimming, and maybe you can add to those. What was your summer swim experience like?
Oh, it's awesome. It's something everyone in the area looks forward to every summer. It's really competitive. It's really fast. You know, we suit up a lot, which people might think is ridiculous, but we think it's super fun. And you know, it's just something that's been a tradition in our area for a really long time.
I love it. It's especially suiting up. I mean,
Yeah,
I think people should suit up whenever they want, however often they want, because why not?
yeah,
Uh, that sounds super cool. When did you start that summer swim, and how like do you still swim? I mean, obviously not this past summer, but like, were you still swimming summer league up until now?
yeah. I plan to do it every single summer that I'm here. Um, and you know, yeah, I plan to do it every single summer, and we didn't get to do it this summer, and that sucks for all the seniors. But it's you know, I don't want to miss it. It's something that has been it's really important to me to be there, just because you know all the people that I know that I've basically grown up with, and those are the people that I started swimming with. So it means a lot to me to be there.
Uh, is that affiliated with your club at all, or is it something that's completely separate?
Not at all. It's like a Northern Virginia swim league. That's what the summer league is called, and it's like some 18 something divisions, like five teams in each division, and it's a lot of fun.
So tell me about the meets that I mean, do you guys have practices with those teams?
Oh yeah, they're really low key though. If you do club swim, you know it's basic. It's a lot for kids that don't do club swim, and you know they just have been doing it for a while. But a lot of swimmers do it just because you know we want to race. It's all 50s and 100 IM. So I mean, who doesn't want to do that? And you know, my friend Kent says I'm only good at the fun events, which is 100% true. So I love swimming 50s and suiting up.
Who doesn't? Yeah, who doesn't want to be good at the fun events, especially coming from club? You know, there's where there's 200s of stroke, 400 IM, 500 free. You know, who doesn't want to sprint some 50s and 100 IM? It sounds like a
Exactly.
blast. So tell me about the environment of these meets. Are a lot of club kids doing them? I mean, are these races pretty hotly contested for a summer league?
Sometimes they can get pretty heated. Yeah, like it gets pumped up. it's every age group from 8 and under to 15, 18. So, and it's boys and girls, it's your entire team. So, uh, it's a lot of fun. It's super hot every Saturday, and you wake up, it's Saturday morning, and it's the thing that I just get super pumped for. We carpool and caravan to the away meets, and the home meets are 5-minute bike ride from my house. So it's really fun.
That sounds perfect.
Yeah.
Are there like team rivalries, or do you guys have friendly beef with other swimmers? Is there trash talk behind the blocks? Take me to the meet environment.
There might be a little bit of trash talk if you know the person, but they take sportsmanship really seriously there. There's like a sportsmanship award, and everyone has to shake hands after the race, and it's really classy. It's really fun, and yeah, we definitely have some rivals. So Oakton Otters we're the Fair Oaks Sharks. We live in the Fair Oaks community that's right next to my house, and then Oakton Otters is like 3 miles down the road. And we all go to the same schools and stuff, so we all know each other, and it's a lot of fun trash talking to your friends there. But
And so then is there a championships meet or division meet? How does it work? What's the big finale?
yeah, so there's 5 dual meets during the year, and then there's divisionals, everyone in your division, and then there's all stars, everyone in the entire league.
And tell me about a favorite memory you've got from any summer swim meet. What's one memory that stands out to you, or just a good story or a good time you had at one of these meets?
Ooh, uh, probably when I was like about 8 years old. It was my second or third All Star meet, and I never really like won anything before that. And that was my first time winning All Stars, and it was just like huge deal because I was 8 years old, and like set a lead record, and I was 16 seconds and a 25 fly when I was like 8. So the record's gotten broken since. I was a little bit sad, but it was a really special moment for me. It made me love swimming even more.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
guessing you've won a few more All Stars events since then.
yeah, maybe a few. Yeah.
Uh, so you said it's just 50s and the 100 IMs. I mean, so do you swim all 5 events, or do you kind of pick and choose based on your team and who's swimming what? And
So yeah, we only get 2 individual events.
Mhm.
So yeah, I tried to spread out all my swims last year, or the summer of 2019. I tried to like spread out all the events because I wanted to make sure I got every single one.
Nice. So it's the summer swim. That sounds like a super fun. I say it a lot on this podcast. I didn't have a summer league growing up, and so I try to live vicariously through everyone I interview about summer
Yeah.
leagues. It sounds super cool. Tell me about your club team. It starts with summer swim. I think it does for a lot of swimmers, and then eventually you get to your club team. How'd you land at your club?
So I'm on the Mason Makos. It's like 15 minutes from my house, and I've been on the team. It's where I started out doing club swimming when I was like 6 or 7, and I was on that team until I was about 11, and I tried out NCAP for about 2 or 3 years, and I actually came back to Makos when I was 13, and I've been there ever since under the same coach, under my coach Peter, and it's been going great ever since. I grew up with all these people, and uh, it's really fun getting to see them at practice, and I love training at George Mason. It's a really nice pool.
Uh, it's sounds like a cool club. How big is the club team, or how big is the group that you train with?
So it's not very big. We're only one site, and my group, I'd say it's about like 25, 30 kids. Yeah, it's not too bad.
Yeah, it's pretty
Hmm.
sizable. I think you're coming from Northern Virginia, very populated area, very swimming populated area. you say it's a small team, it's one site.
Yeah.
Which I know teams like InCap, have multiple sites, but I just think that's humorous. So it's one site club team. You've got a strong training group of about 25 or 30. What would you say the training is like there? I mean, you said you swam at InCap for a while. At Mason, what's your training like?
So it's completely different from NCAP. So for Makos, we do, I'd say, an average of like 4 to 5K per practice, 4 to 5K yards. My coach, he designs the practices really well, to what we need. And most of us are sprinters, so we have like 1 or 2 freestyle days that we just had it. We just had a freestyle day. We did some 200 frees, but I wasn't a fan of that. But so yeah, he tailors the sets to make them a little bit more faster, just because he knows a lot of us aren't really distance swimmers. When we do a lot of like 200 pace stroke and a lot of IM. That's what my coach likes to focus on.
I just talked to Jeff Papel, head women's coach at Florida, and he was saying, he worked under Greg Troy for a long time at Bulls and then at Florida, and he strong emphasis on IM training. I'm guessing your IM training looks a little different, but you have a strong IM yourself. Great, you're very good, proficient in all 4 strokes. Do you enjoy having that diversity? Because I know some swimmers, they're just like, well, I like butterfly and that's all I'm going to swim.
Yeah, no, I love it because if I'm like not feeling a stroke one day on like a stroke day, I just don't have to swim it because I got 3 other ones that I can swim. And like if it's like it's more like 200 pace, I'll probably try to do breaststroke just because I'm better at the 200 distance for breaststroke. And if I really want to work on underwaters, I'll do flying back. So it's really nice having that freedom.
If I mean, so like we said, you swam 50 free at the state meet, you swam the 100 back, you swam the 100 breast. I mean, you're really proficient in butterfly. Actually, 2019 NCSA Spring Championships in Orlando, you took titles in the 100 breast, 50 fly, and 100 back. So it shows that you can pretty much swim anything fast. Do you have a favorite stroke or event?
Yeah, 100 breaststroke is my favorite event uh just because like 100 fly and 50 free and 100 back, they're the most stressful events just ever because you just gotta focus on staying underwater, just going absolutely ham on top of the water. So having like an event that I can just do super long pullouts and have a nice fast rhythm going, that's definitely my favorite event. I feel the least tired after the 100 breaststroke than any other of those. So
And that's the metric everyone should use
yeah.
on their favorite event. What makes you feel the least tired? So that's super interesting. We're gonna get to your underwaters in a minute, but let's talk about. I'm guessing you have a pretty strong emphasis on underwaters and training. What about pullouts? I mean, do you put just as much of an emphasis on those? I mean, I'm guessing if you swim 100 breast, you're still underwater for at least half of it.
Yeah, so definitely. Just because for some reason I'm good at underwater, so I just got to use it to my advantage. And you know, we've tweaked on it a little bit. Me and my coach, like what's a little bit too long gliding, and what's too short, or if I'm what's it called? If I'm just grabbing it like too short or something like that. So
Mhm.
we worked on it a lot, and we definitely noticed that we can use it to my advantage. Breaststroke is probably the stroke I work on the least, just because uh, I don't know. I just work on it the least, and I work on it the most during IM sets, just because during IM sets I try to tell myself to just stay underwater and finish the pull out.
Interesting. That's
Mm,
uh, that's pretty cool. I like that a
nice.
lot. So, I mean, do you think an IM? It's IM sets. I'm just thinking out loud. Do you think working on breaststroke during IM sets kind of gets you into more of a rhythm with your breaststroke as well?
Probably because you're not really thinking about much when you're in pain because you're just going on instinct. So it helps a little bit just to not think and just go. Yeah.
Gotcha. So that's super interesting. When did you and slash your coach kind of start to get the idea that like, okay, I'm pretty good at underwaters. Maybe I should use this to my advantage?
Probably my freshman year, which was when I started dropping like a really good amount of time.
Um, okay, and so I'm looking your freshman year at the state meet. You win the 100 back 49-1. You lead off the relay in 22-2. You're second in the 100 fly 49-6, and you split 20.6 on that 200 free relay. All very solid numbers as a freshman.
Thank you.
Uh,
Yeah.
I mean, so you start working on underwaters that year. What were you doing to really maximize your underwater work? Were you doing 5 kicks off every wall? Were you doing certain sets where you do 10 kicks off every wall? Like what do you feel like really helped you start to harness that?
So to work on underwaters, we definitely use fins the most. Just 25s underwater as fast as we can, or 25s, three up, one down. I mean, three down, one up. Um, you know, we do this set almost every Friday where we have fins on and we swim out to the 15 and then blast underwater back. And so it definitely has a lot to do with the fins. My coach loves using fins, and yeah, when I do fast 50s in practice, I try to go 15-15 just because that's the fastest way I'm going to be able to swim in the race.
That that makes sense.
Yeah.
And so I have an idea, but I have an idea of why that is. But what do you like about using fins so much? Why does that particularly help with the underwaters?
I'm not really sure. I'm able to stay down longer, and I'm able to you can really feel the work that you're putting in like your hamstrings and your quads. And so I really like that. And it helps me stay alive and stay like flexible. I can like engage my hips and my back really well, like with fins on. I can really just get the motion going.
Uh, so do you know your fastest 25 underwater time in practice?
I don't know about the fastest 25, but I've gone 17-1 in a 50 from a push.
That
I
was
had once,
underwater.
yeah, underwater. I had one stroke of freestyle at the wall, and it was completely underwater.
17-1. That puts Caleb Dressel to shame. Wow.
Yeah,
That's that's speedy. I would
thanks.
man, I wish I could have been there to eat some pancakes and watch that one.
Oh, that would have
Uh,
been awesome.
maybe one day. Um,
Absolutely.
so you use Fens a lot, which is great to hear. Are there? I mean, I don't know what your club team's like. I don't know what your training group's like. Tell me about them a little. I mean, do you have kids that push you, especially on those underwaters, or are you kind of way out in the leading the pack?
I mean, yeah, there are people that keep me in my place in practice. Today I was getting my butt whooped by my teammate Cole because he's the 200 and 500 guy. And my friend Kent, when he was here, he's got really good underwaters and really good flying back. And out of nowhere, he got a good free last year, so he was pushing me in practice. And so, yeah, those guys, and I hate losing to them because they're my friends. So, it feels good to have people right next to you in practice that you know well and that you don't want to lose to.
It does, and that's again good to hear that you've got people keeping you in your place because I'm seeing your times. I don't know about the other kids in your club again, but it's like this kid might just be training on his own essentially. But it's good to hear that you've
Yeah.
got good training buddies.
Yeah.
So you said you really started to feel your underwaters coming along that freshman season. We talked about your sophomore season. That's kind of when you came onto the SwimSwam scene, we were like, whoa. And I think, people started to know your name a little more. And that's also when you went to NCSAs,
Yeah.
a month or two later, and had a phenomenal meet there in Orlando. Tell me about that, that winter, spring, and what was really clicking for you during that season.
Oof. That season, I think I really decided that I was going to buckle down because I realized. So the year before, my freshman year, I had dropped like 5 seconds in 100 back. Uh, I think 4 seconds in 100 breast, just like grazing, like dropping like crazy time just for like no reason at all. And so I decided I was just like, I really got to start training hard and just really just see what I can do. And so it was that summer and that winter that I really started to put my head down and train a lot harder, and stop missing practices and just really started to focus and become motivated to just see what I can do. And it ended up paying off. And the winter, I dropped a ton of time. And then the spring, I dropped even more time. I just had no idea what was going on. And it was a lot of fun being able to, it's the best part of the sport, being able to just blow away your times and seeing times up there they don't expect.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of summer swim, you were just making age group drops. You were dropping time
Yeah.
like an 8-year-old,
Yeah.
which you said it's the best part of the sport. Certainly, as fans, we love seeing someone who we've never heard of just drop exceedingly fast times. Which you did, and so then you tell me about that summer. I remember seeing you at Summer Nationals. We were gonna do an interview, and then I think we missed each other. But tell me about that summer and kind of, after you had that real breakout season, trying to transition to long course.
Yeah. So that summer, it wasn't exactly what I was hoping for. My long course hasn't really come around yet, which I'm okay with. And I was talking to Eddie Reese, and he said it takes a year or two after your breakout season in short course for you to really get the hang of long course. So he just told me not to worry, and my stroke on top of the water is getting a little bit better. So we'll see what I can do this long course season. And that season, that summer after sophomore year, and it was okay. Like I was happy with it. I got a trials cut. I couldn't expect to just go uphill the entire time. I had to be a little bit disappointed that year, I feel like. So yeah, the breaststroke was not what I was expecting. I was expecting to go a little bit faster, but I was happy with the backstroke, at least getting a trials cut. And fly, it will just get better with time.
Yeah. So, are you able to train long course at all, even during the summers?
So in the past, yeah, usually, we can switch the lanes to long course during the summer at my pool.
Okay. So that's
Mhm.
that's good. Do you prefer short course or long course?
Definitely prefer short course.
Okay.
Just bouncing off the walls is my thing.
That certainly, and again, I think that shows on paper. What long course is a totally different animal, and I think it does take a while. Once you get to an elite level, short course, it can take a while to make that transition.
Hmm.
Where do you feel like you can? You said you're above water strokes coming along. Do you feel like there's specific details you can improve on that long course game, or things you're excited to work on in the future?
Oh yeah, I've got like this a little hitch in my backstroke. You can't really, I don't know if you can really notice it in short course, just because my tempo's going pretty fast. And but when I'm swimming long course, you can really kind of see like, oh, and like an awkward like hitch in my backstroke. And that's something I got to work on. And I got to work on just timing my breaststroke right, really getting that down. And for butterfly, I guess it's just conditioning. Like I just in long course, when I'm on that last 25, I got like a piano on my back. Like I'm just dying. So I think I just gotta work the right muscles, train the right way, and then I'll start to see some improvements.
All sound like good things. All make sense.
Yeah.
long course butterfly is so different than short course butterfly,
Yeah.
like you said. And so you have, a good long course season, not the one maybe you'd hoped for, but a good long course season. Um, and then you get the stress fracture in your lower back. You talked about you took 2 months off. Um, how was that time for you? I mean, especially because you came back after being in the water for just 6 weeks to the Virginia State meet. You swam maybe not as well as you would have liked. You would still went pretty dang fast.
Thanks. Yeah.
What were those 2 months? Those 2 months off leading into that meet. What were those like for you?
Yeah, those 2 months were pretty hard. Just because I was just sitting in my room. Like I was supposed to go to Canada for a short course meters meet, and then I was supposed to have just the sports fair winter classic that year. And I was pretty upset I couldn't go to those, but I was still watching my friends swim and all that. And it was just hard not having anything to do, and just I felt just I gained a little bit of weight, it's just because I didn't know what else to do. And it was really boring, really discouraging. But as soon as I got back into the water, it was hard to get back into shape, but I was just happy to be there.
And makes total sense. I think that could throw anyone into kind of a slump. You're on a roll, you're doing really well, and then you get an injury like that. It's hard to come back from. So like I mentioned before, you get back in the water. 6 weeks later, you're back at the Virginia State meet. You win the 50 free in 19.7, 100 breasts in 53.8, breaking Andrew Seliscar's state record. You split 21-2 in the 50 back, leading off the medley relay, and 44-7 on the winning 400 free relay. You guys finished third at that meet. And then COVID hit pretty soon after that. How, given everything you had been through, how did you feel about that performance at the state meet?
I was happy with my performance there. Just I wasn't expecting to go any best times, like uh coming off of like 6 weeks of training and having regions and districts the 2 weeks before, just having all those meets. Like, I'm not conditioned at all. I was happy I just survived that meet. That 4 free relay, my splits I think were like 20.5 and then 24-1. Like because it was right after the 100 breast,
Yeah.
and I was just dying. But we gutted it out for that 4 free relay, so it was fine.
That's sorry. That's kind of comical, but I'm
Yeah,
glad you made it through the meet. I'm guessing you're in a better place now.
hopefully. Yeah.
So to wrap up this conversation, moving forward again, senior year of high school, things are a lot different, but you're still able to swim. What are you looking forward to these next couple months? Do you have any short-term goals? Obviously, everything is kind of up. Things are up in the air and can change at any moment. But what are you thinking about for the next couple months?
Sorry about that. Am I good? Okay. I'm really excited to just go and race. I've been itching to race. It's been a really long time, and that's where I perform the best at meets and stuff. I'm definitely more of a competitor than a trainer, and so just the feeling I get when I shave up and you know I've done good training and throw on a suit, it really gets the adrenaline going, and that's the most fun part of the sport for me. Just because the feeling you get before and after you race, it's just completely different world.
Do you know when the next time you might race will be?
Uh, so me and my coach, I would really love to go to Winter Juniors for the first time if it's gonna happen. So we'll see about that. If that's happening, I'll definitely try to go. Just 'cause I've never been to a Winter Juniors, and I really want to race those guys. And I met pretty much all of them on like all my officials and stuff. So I know everyone, and I'm sure they know I'm ready to go, and I know they're ready to go too.
Well, I'm pulling for winter juniors. I would love to see these showdowns. Anthony, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me. I really appreciate it, especially after you had a long day of school and swim. We're doing this at the end of the day, so yeah. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, thank you too.
You've been listening to the SwimSwam podcast. Stay tuned for new episodes every week. You can take SwimSwam podcast on the go by subscribing on your favorite podcast platform. Look for links in the description below, and be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more videos as well.